Hello everyone. I, Dr. Bhan Pratap Singh, Assistant Professor, School of Information Technology, AURO University, Surat, Gujarat. I hope you all are doing well. Today, I am going to give brief idea about UI and UX design technologies. Like what is UI and UX design technology, similarities and differences between them, what kind of skills you would have for learning UI and UX design technology, what is the scope in industry of UI and UX designers, which type of package is going to provide to UI UX designers by the industry, not only in India, out of the India also. First, I would like to introduce my school and my university as well. AURO University, to be the vision, vision of the university is to be premier university of integral and transformational learning for future leaders. Integral learning in the sense the integrated curriculum is about making significant connections between the subjects or skills that are usually addressing several different subjects areas. Integrating the curriculum can be also involve learning experience, and integrated approaches to learning is designed to focus on learning within the curriculum. It focused on making connections among concept and experiences so that information and skills can be applied to novel and complex issues of challenges. Our mission to the students to give the environment for self-development, an institution that nurtures their potential based on their aptitude and interests. Means apart from the bookish knowledge, going to give the vast knowledge towards the society and the world also. To the faculty means the mission of the university to provide the faculty to means knowledge and according to the knowledge and skills to opportunity for the research on emerging trends and industries practices. Now come to the School of Information Technology. The School of Information Technology has been the provide education holistic approach to the area of information technology. Means apart from the booking knowledge, the School of Information Technology provides the vast knowledge apart from the bookish knowledge also. Vision of the School of Information Technology to give the effective contribution to build a prominent premium institute of integral and transformational learning of the future leaders. Future leaders in the sense that it means the vision of the school to create the each and every student not for the job, not for the entrepreneurship, for the future leaders also. And the school is working on the mission also, means which involves ideas, dreams of transformation into relatively and trained IT high-tech professional leaders. Now I'm going to talk about the some idea about the UI and UX technology. If I'm talking about the UI and UX technology, first of all, what is the UI design? Obviously, UI design and UX design are two of the most often confused and conflicted terms in web and application design, and understandably so. They are usually placed together in a single term, UI UX design, and viewed from the surface, this seems to be describing the same thing. It's often hard to find solid descriptions of the two that doesn't descend too far into jargon. But not fear, that the job falls to UI designers They decide what the application is going to look like. They have to choose color, schemes, screens, and button shapes, the width of the line, and the fonts used for the text. UI design means user interface design, create the looks and feel on application user interface. If I'm talking about the UI design, UI designers are graphical designers also. They are connected with the designs also. It's up to them to make sure the application's interface is attractive, visually stimulating, and appropriately to match the purpose and or personality of the application. And they need to make sure every single visual elements feel untitled, both essentially and fulfill its purpose also. So what do you mean by the UX design? UX experience. UX is UX experience. So UX designers are also concerned with an application user interface. And this is why people get confused about the difference between these two. But wherever UI designers are tasked with deciding how the user interaction will be look, UX designer are in the charge of determining how the user interface operate. They determine the structure of interface and the functionality, how it's organized, and how all the parts related to one another. In short, we can say they design how the interface work. If it is work well and feel seamless, the user will have a good experience. But if navigation is complicated or problematic, then the bad user experience is likely. UX designer work to avoid the second scenario. Now, why a UI designer is not a UX designer, we can say. An UX designer decides how the user interface work, while the UI designer decides how the user interface looks. This is the basic difference between the UI and UX. This is a very collaborative process, and the two design team tend to work closely together as the UX team is working out the flow of the application, how all of the buttons navigations you through your task, and how the interface efficiently serves up the information users needs. The user interface or UI team is working on how all of these interface elements will appear on the screen. Let's say at some point in the design process, it's decided that extra buttons need to be added to a given screen. This will change how the buttons will need to be organized and could require changing their shape or size. The UX team would determine the best way to lay out the buttons while the UI team adopt their designs to fit the new layout. Constant communication and collaboration between UI and UX designers helps to assure that the final user interface look as good as can while also operating efficiently and easily. Now, what are the responsibilities of UX and UI designers, or we can say UI versus UX, two very different disciplines that work in harmony. UI design and UX design involves very different skill sets, but they are integral to each other's success. A beautiful design can't shape an interface that and confusing to navigate, and a brilliant, perfectly appropriate user experience can be sunk by bad visual interface design that makes using the app unpleasant. Both UI and UX designs need to be flawlessly executed and perfectly aligned with pre-existing user expectations to create an excellent user interface or the experience. And when those stars align, the results can amazing. Now, UX UI designer task and the skills. What the task and what the skills is there. So these are the means UX and UI designer task and the UX designer skills. Both are the different things. In the case of the UX and UI designer tools, takes the exploring the user problems and requirements. So similar in the case of the UX designer, the design skills and the knowledge, working experience of the UI UX designer tools like InVision, Adobe, Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Sketch, and others. These are the main the designer tools and the skills. So in the case of the UX and UI designer, means UX and UI designers determine the structure of the interface and the functionality. Means in which term, how it organized and how all the parts related to each other, or we can say they design how the interface work. If it is work smoothly according to the algorithm, according to requirement of the users, according to requirement of the clients, means the user will have a good experience. But if at the time of the use of the UI and UX design is complicated or the complex, then the bad user experience is like. So in this case, the responsibility of the UX designer as well as the UI designer, means UI designer means going to pass the model to the UX designer. So both are equally responsible for this kind of problems. If I'm talking about the responsibility of the user interface and user experience designers, so we can say that gather and evolve user requirements in collaborating with the product manager and engineers, illustrate design idea using storyboard, process flow, and set maps, design graphics user interface elements like menu, tabs, and wedges, build pages navigation, buttons, and search field, develop UI mockups, prototypes that clearly illustrate how sites function and look like, create original graphic design, that is, we can say the image, sketches, and tables, prepare and present rough draft to internal team and key stakeholder. Identify, next one is identify and troubleshoot UX problems. Consider layout adjustment based on the user feedback. And the requirements as well as requirements concern proven work experience as an UX UI designers or similar job profile, portfolio of design projects, knowledge of wireframe tools like wireframe CC and InVision also, up to date knowledge of design software like Adobe Illustrator, and Photoshop. Team spirit, strong communication should be there. Good time management skill should have maintained. As the UX designer and salary of concern, so the average salary from the entire jet set of the in the mode of the INR rupees, average is the 15.5 lakh per annum. And with this diagram, we can say the on the basis of the percentage of the job, on the basis of the total salary increase, we can find the how much salary can get the UX and UI designer. It's all the things depend upon the knowledge as well as the experience also. As we can see in the international level, these are the UX designer yearly salary by the company. They are Microsoft, Adobe, BBC, Alibaba, IBM, Adidas. So we can see the how much salary, sky is the limit, we can say. Now it's time to a small quiz on UX and UI design. First, I am going to show 10 questions. I will give you some time to read or analyze and then try to give answer. After that, we will show answer key of the same. You can check your correct answer and evaluate your knowledge because self-evaluation practice should be the each and every student should be. So this is the question. I am going to pause the 2 to 3 minutes. This is the question for the UX design is most likely to say one A or B. These are the two options. In the second case, there are two false type questions. Third one is flowchart diagram. These are third questions. Okay. Similarly, in the next two slides, we'll get the some more questions. Like fourth one is the diary study asks user to record their experiences through the boardable or task the journal overview time, true or false. The phrase information scans, progressive discrimination. Now, four more question is there. This is your front of you. What does UX stands for? You must have idea about the UX stands for and UI stands for. Workflow. What is this? The economy USD stands for. Now US wireframing is the process of the creating the specific structure of the design application. Now I'm going to give the answer key. So this is the answer key according to the question. You can, I'm going to pause 1 or 2 minutes. You can see and evaluate your knowledge of UX and UI designing kind of things. So this is the question. So at last, before goodbye, I would like to share contact details of university. So this is the contact detail of the university. Like contact number, email address. So dear students, in case of any query, any doubt, willing to know some advanced technology, I'm not talking about the UX and UI technology. If you curious to know about the latest technology, means how can we learn the latest technology, how can we develop the app with the use of the latest technology also. For this kind of query, you are free to contact on this given detail of the universities, and you can contact with the phone number, mail id, and the physical address is given there. So you are free to ask, contact to the university. So best of luck for your bright future. Thank you very much. Thank you.